For this phone case, I am going to use the Caron Simply Soft Party yarn, and it is in the Fuchsia Sparkle. Right up my alley. And it's so pretty and sparkly. I love it. It says to use a size H hook, but I am actually going to be using a size I. It's a 5.5 millimeter. To start making your phone case, you're going to leave a tail approximately 10 to 12 inches. So make sure that it's like at least a foot long, because we're going to be using that extra yarn to close up the bottom. Start out with a slip stitch. You're going to chain how many ever chains that it takes to go around your phone. I am not going to be able to show you my phone because that's what I'm filming with, but I do have my phone case, so I'll show you how many stitches that is when I get to the end of this chain. Okay, here's my phone case. So I'm just going to wrap it around my phone case, and I'm going to make sure that I stretch it just a little, and when those two ends meet, I'm going to add 3 stitches. So for me, that's about 23 stitches, 23 chains. And on the front of your chains, you see like a braid. You're just going to flip it over, and you're going to see these little bumps on the back. Do you see those? So I'm going to go into the 3rd bump right there, and that's where I'm going to be crocheting, and I'm making a half double crochet. So with a half double crochet, you yarn over, make sure you go into this back bump right there. And this is a little more difficult the first round with the back bump because we're not used to doing that. But what it's going to do is it's going to give it a better finished edge, so we can use that and close up the end. So half double crochet, yarn over, go into the back bump, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So you're going to do that all the way across, and then once we get back to the beginning, I'll show you how to join that. So I've done all my half double crochets, and I just want to show you the great edge that it leaves right here. It leaves it braided, and it's so pretty. So you can't really tell which side is up and which side is down. And normally we have that really unfinished edge when we go into these braids on the other side. So I really like this. I can show you the difference. Let's see. Okay, here's a project that I was working on. So this is the normal edge, and it looks a little bit more, it just looks different, and it's tighter. Whereas this edge, when you look at it, is just more finished, and it feels like the rest of the project, not really tight. So I think that's a great alternative. I've come to the end of my row. Now what you're going to do at this point is you're going to take out your phone, and you're going to do some remeasuring. So you just want to make sure that you did it right and that you have the right length. And wrap this around and stretch it just a little, and see, mine joins perfectly. So I think that's going to be a good length for mine. If you want it a little bigger, make sure to add a few more chains before you do this step. We left this really long tail so we can sew up this end closed once we get there. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to join it. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip it around so you have the long piece like that. And this is the inside of your stitch. So you ended on that side. So just flip it around. Okay, so you're going to make sure that your tail is down here at the bottom, and your yarning over yarn is at the top. And then you're just going to join with a slip stitch in the top of that chain 2, just like this. Now what you're going to notice is that this bottom portion right here is going to be split open, but we want to join it with this tail. So don't do this yet, just keep working on the top portion because we are going to have to close all of this shut at the end, and we're going to just sew across here with a whip stitch. So for now, forget about all of this and just work in at the top of this area. And so you're going to chain 2, you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go into this stitch right here. So this chain 2 stitch belongs to this space right there. So you don't want to go in there because you're going to add a stitch if you do that. So just make sure you go into that next stitch, and then you're going to half double crochet all the way around, and then I'm going to show you how to join again just so you have it down. When you join your rounds, I want to show you how to do this so it will be an easier join, and that it'll make it straight. So if you can see, you have 2 chains here, and then that chain right there is your where you started your half. This is where you started your half double crochet. So there's 1 chain, 2 chains. On this second chain is where you're going to be going in. So you want to make sure that you go into like the back loop only of that chain. You just want to have 1 strand right there on top of your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and slip stitch, pull it through. And what this does is that it keeps it straighter, plus when you chain 2 to start your next round like this, you're going to yarn over, and then this whole stitch will be exposed so that you can go under both of those strands. And that will make it much easier for you to join your round. So continue that. Work this up. After this row, you're going to want to put it onto your cell phone. So just try it on for size and see how that fits. This is nice and stretchy, so for me it fits over my case just perfectly. We'll close that up afterwards because this is going to be the bottom. Make sure that this is about 3/4 the way up your phone. Make sure that if you want the border that you leave enough room. You might not want to cover your whole cell phone. I don't. I'm just going to put it in like a little pocket. On my last round to join, on this very last round, I'm going to go into the top of the half double crochet. Where we were going into the top of the chain 2s before, I'm just going to go in at the half double crochet spot right there. So it makes a nicer join. So you're going to turn this inside out, and this is the inside of your pouch, of your cell phone holder. And here's where you can have an option. So this is the wrong side of your work, but it still looks really pretty. That's just kind of a ribbed little pattern, and so you can use that as the outside if you want, or the original half double crochet, that look. So whichever side you want, just turn it inside out, and you're going to sew up the end. So you have your seam right there. I want to keep that seam to the side of my project. So what you'll do is you'll take your yarn and you'll fold this in half flat, and then you're going to whip stitch this together. And this is the inside of my project. So I'm just going to go under the 2 strands right here on each side. Do that all the way across and then turn it right side out. So I'm just going to flip it to the outside, just like that. So that's what you are left with. And you can put your cell phone in there. You can leave it just like that if you want, but I'm going to do a little border on it. As you can see, I've worked up that far. So it looks really cute just like this. I'm going to add the border with a little scallop edge. You chain 1, we're going to skip a space, we're going to single crochet into that space, we're going to half double crochet in that same space, and we're going to single crochet in that same space. Then we're going to skip one stitch. So this is where we were. We're going to skip that one. We're going to go into the next one. And we're going to single crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, all in the same space. So you're just going to do every other stitch just like that for our border. Skip one, go into the next one, single crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. So it's just leaving a little tiny scallop border around the top. I've reached the end, and we did that single crochet at the very beginning, and that's where we're going to join with a slip stitch. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make a flower to go on to our phone case. So this is going to be, this will be an oversized flower, and it looks so pretty. I love that. And then we're going to take another centerpiece, and I haven't weaved in any of my ends or assembled this yet, but just to give you an idea of what we're doing. So we're going to layer it. So after we've done our edge on the top right here, we're going to make a flower, and then we're going to make another little centerpiece that goes here, and then we're going to add a little rhinestone right in the middle, as if there's not enough bling on this thing. We're going to make more. So let's get started on that white flower. You can make it in any color you want, but make sure to leave a tail that's at least 10 inches long. You want to be able to sew it on and not have to worry about not having enough yarn. I'm going to be using a size F crochet hook. It's a 3.75 millimeter. And then with your long tail piece, you're just going to make a slip stitch, and then you're going to chain 3. And then for the center of the flower, this is what we're making, you're going to make a double crochet into the chain next to the knot. I'm going to put 11 more double crochets into that hole. So we're going to have 12 double crochets all in the same hole. That chain 3 that's right here counts as one of the 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in the top of this chain 1 up here, right there, you're going to go underneath and you're going to slip stitch. So you're going to have 12 little spokes right there. At this point, you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to skip 1, and then you're going to do a slip stitch into that stitch. So you're just going to do this around to the beginning, so it's just a chain 3, skip 1, and slip stitch. So just do that to the beginning. And once you get to the beginning, because you're going to have 1 to skip, you're going to go into this base area right here, and you're going to slip stitch. So you're going to have 6 spaces around with a chain 3 space. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into that first chain 3 space with a single crochet. You're going to do a half double crochet, 3 double crochets, another half double crochet, and a single crochet. So you're going to repeat that pattern in each of those chain 3 spaces. I'll do it one more time. Single crochet, half double crochet, 3 double crochets, half double crochet, and a single crochet. So repeat that pattern all the way around to the beginning, join, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Then when you get to the end, you're going to slip stitch in this first single crochet, and that's what your first row should look like of your flower. Now this next part, all you're going to do is make your stitch just a little longer, turn this around, you're going to slip stitch into a stitch nearby. It doesn't have to be any particular stitch, but just something on the back. You're going to chain 4. And then you're going to work in these back loops, so you're just going to go in between where these spokes are and just grab a little area, just like that, and slip stitch. Whoops. Okay, wait a second. It came out. Okay. And then you're going to slip stitch. Going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to go to the back of this little area right here, and you're just going to pick up one strand, you're going to slip stitch, and chain 4. And you're going to do it again to the next flower, the next spoke, slip stitch, just like that, chain 4, and you're just going to do that all the way around until you get to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go to the next spoke and just find a little stitch. Wait a second, got to pull that one apart a little bit. You can go right there. Make your little slip stitch, chain 4, and then here is your last one right there. So you're just going to go into an area right there below that one, slip stitch, get that to open, and you're going to have all these little chain spaces on the back. Make a slip stitch, turn your work, and then we're going to be working from the front to the back now. So see all these little spaces right here? Those are the spaces that we're going to work in, the chain 4 space. So once you're here, you're just going to go back in and you're going to make a single crochet. You're going to make a half double crochet. You're going to make 5 double crochets. So right here you have a single, a half double. You're going to make 5 doubles, a half double crochet, and a single crochet. So what you're doing is making a petal behind the petal, and that looks so pretty. I love it. So again, you're going to you're going to single crochet, half double, 5 doubles, half double, and a single. And just continue that all the way around till you have all of your chain 4 spaces filled up. After your last petal, you're just going to join in that first single crochet that you did on that very first petal. So it's going to join just like that. So this makes a really pretty layered flower. Just weave in your ends on this one piece right here. Leave your long tail so you can sew it on. Now you can either add the middle part, like I'm going to show you this middle area that you can put that into and make it a little more layered, or you can make it the same color, add a white one instead, or you can just leave it like that, maybe put a little sparkle in the middle. So I think it looks really pretty. Don't forget you have this long tail right here so you can sew it to your phone case. And let's go ahead and move on to this little centerpiece. With your original color, make sure you leave about a 10-inch tail just to be safe. You're going to do another slip knot. And basically, it's going to be what you just did with the center of that flower. So you're just going to chain 3, you're going to yarn over, and you're just going to make 10. So it's just going to be a little bit smaller. So you're going to do 10 double crochets into this center space. And don't forget your first chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. 10. And then just slip stitch right here in the top of that first chain. And you can leave it this small if you'd like, or you can add to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to add one more round. So I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to single crochet 2 times in each stitch. Whoops. I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Just going to join at the top of this stitch right there and make your little circle. Then all you'll do is weave in your ends and attach your flower. You attach it here with your yarn, and then with this one you're going to take the white yarn and you're going to sew the flower to your phone cover. Sewn on the flower, and all I have to do is put a little rhinestone right in the middle and I'll be finished. But I just wanted to show you real quick how this fits with my cell phone case. Just like that. It's so cute. I love it. I hope you enjoy it. God bless you guys. Take care.